Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, iTunes, and more. I am your host, Dr. Marissa. I was actually introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah, so you may have heard of me from there. Thank you for all of the wonderful messages I've been getting lately on my social, Doc Balance on Instagram and LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and even TikTok, but don't tell my daughters. Thank you for all of the messages to Dr. Marissa or Dr. Marissa Pay. I so am grateful for the fact that I'm coming up on my 9th year doing this. And thanks to my station owner boss, Fred, I came on to the morning show. So it went from once a week primetime to the daily morning show. And because the Grammys scheduled for April the 3rd, I wanted to honor those Grammy nominated and Grammy award winning artists that I've had the very good fortune of interviewing either on the show or on a red carpet or actually even performing on stage with them. So if you missed Arturo Sandoval, he actually was nominated 19 times, received 10 Grammy Awards, and he came in studio. So that show you can get it on my YouTube channel, free subscribe. It was a very fun interview. I don't think I've laughed as hard as I laughed when I tried to interview him. And he tried to turn the tables and interview me. I also got to cover on location with my hashtag Dr. Marissa Reporting Live, the Amy Winehouse collection. I'm going to show that to you as well. She's a 5-time Grammy Award-winning artist, left very young, but she shone very bright while she was here. I also have wonderful red carpet playlists with Grammy Award winners, The Temptations, The Righteous Brothers, Crystal Gale, Tony Orlando, without Dawn, and the fabulous Quincy Jones, who I wish would ask me out on a date. He told me in Mandarin that he loved me and that I was beautiful. I'll be playing that interview on the red carpet. And Martha Reeves. She won a Grammy in '99. You'll remember Dancing in the Street. And she was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999. I also had Jeff Timmons, both on the carpet and in studio. You'll remember him from the boy band 98 Degrees, which had a Grammy nomination, and Kool in the Gang. I don't think until I put the show together, I realized how truly fortunate I have been to get to speak to and meet and even have in studio these magnificent Grammy award-winning musical artists. In doing the research, I'm like, oh, really? Wow, really? Then finally, a brilliant group and a brilliant man that I've had the opportunity to sing on stage with the Agape International Choir, as well as be recognized by my voice by Stevie Wonder. I'll be playing a few of his clips, not just from Agape, but from a recent concert that I got to see him at. And then after all of the great Grammy nominated and Grammy award-winning musical artists interviews on the carpet or in performance, I'm going to be playing my spotlight interview with two really fun folks. One is Kathy Richardson, who is the lead singer of Jefferson Starship, which is also a Grammy-nominated group, as well as Jocko Marcelino from the iconic group Sha Na Na, who was also nominated for a Grammy. So a star-studded musical artist show today. Keep it here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, including my free subscribe YouTube channel, which is only 1,800 views away from 250,000. Very excited about that. So thank you so much. So make sure you free subscribe. You'll get an alert at 8 a.m. in the morning that a new show is dropping, as well as access to all of these interviews you're going to see today from the red carpet and more. And now, as promised, here are the red carpet interviews with my Grammy nominated and Grammy award winning guests and new friends. Enjoy.
I've seen you. I met you. Yes, I met you at the Playboy Jazz Festival. Ni hao. Wow. Oh, shit. You said that the first time, too. Wow. Well, I'm Dr. Marissa.
I'm writing Mandarin now.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I love it. 3,200 years.
Will you come on my show and show me what you're going to do?
Yeah.
You're the best looking 83-year-old I've ever met.
Thank you.
And my name's Dr. Marissa. Look in there. My name's Dr. Marissa. They call me the Asian Oprah.
Okay.
And Oprah knows.
Saigon, right?
Yes.
Looks like my friend.
Yes. And Keiko Matsui's been on my show. Keiko Matsui.
Okay.
Yeah. The jazz recorded. She loves you. Everybody loves you.
Yeah, I saw her. Seiko the singer? Yeah, I saw her last month.
Yeah. She was on my show, so maybe you'll come on my show. If you look in there and do a peace in, peace out, peace in, and peace out. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from the Poly Pavilion at the Jump, Jive, and Thrive. Yeah. It is Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah, here with someone who has inspired and given us some music to love for a long time. And I am just so pleased to speak with you. What does this feel like, being honored and supporting and all of this?
Well, I really, really like the direction that this is going. The focus is on thriving. And to me, so much of what the focus on cancer has been about surviving and how you're going through a battle.
Yes.
And my experience was my breast cancer diagnosis brought me more closer to myself and had me understand life and joy and how important it is to understand how much stress I'm under and what that's doing to myself, but putting myself first so that I can be there for my family and for my friends. That's really why, and it's why I really like this focus here.
So it sounds like cancer almost was a way to bring you to yourself.
I am one of those people that say, hey, my cancer was a gift. Absolutely.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. I have a show about hope and happiness out of the Sunset Gauge Studios. Would love to have you as a guest.
I would love to. That's what it's all about.
It is. So if you would sign out with me for times to come, this is Melissa Etheridge with Dr. Marissa saying peace in and California Science Center at the Rio Vista holiday event. And you know me as the Asian Oprah, and I am so glad that I caught them just before they left the red carpet. This is from the Temptations.
Cornelius Grant, yeah.
So glad that you're here. And you are, I heard you say you are window dressing.
My name is Wilda Bennett. I'm the president of this organization, Association of Celebrity Personal Assistants.
Beautiful. And why do you come to something like this?
Well, we want to support, anything that has to do with the business.
Yes.
And to network.
Yes.
Network, because always it's a good networking foundation here.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the holidays. What's your wish for this next year?
Peace. Peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And will you sing something for me? I'm just. I always have to ask. Sean and I actually sang a little for me.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, but
they did.
I wouldn't be able to carry you. But I am such a fan of your music. I understand you're performing at the Cerritos Center. Did I see that? Or
No,
where are you performing?
the main group is in Australia right now. I'm kind of semi-retired,
Okay.
but we're waiting for the play called Ain't Too Proud to Beg,
Oh, beautiful.
and that's going to be.
And then I'll get front row seats to that.
Absolutely.
Yes? All right. So at the end of every show, I say it's all about balance and say peace in. Can you make a peace sign for me?
Peace sign.
Peace in and peace out.
Peace out.
Being she's trying to distract me from my job tonight.
We got eyes alike.
She says we have eyes alike. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live on the red carpet at the Beverly Hilton for the Share X 65-year anniversary, and I have here one of the amazing entertainers. It is Martha.
Yeah, they call me legendary. That doesn't mean old. Doesn't mean
The
old.
legendary. For sure, you don't know that.
Bless your heart.
Yes,
This
your
is a
music
wonderful
was.
cause.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
All the wonderful stars that are here is fabulous. Hollywood. This is Hollywood.
All right. Well, I got Sherry Payne to sing a little something when
did?
I interviewed her. So
Is
can
Sherry
I? No, this is at another event.
Another event. Okay.
Yeah. Can I get you to do a little line?
I'm with you. Something inside starts to burning, and I'm filled with desire. Could it be a devil in me, or is this the way love's supposed to be? It's share. It's a charity for share.
Yay! Thank you so much. That was so awesome. Now, at the end of every show, I say it's all about peace.
About peace.
Peace in and peace
love.
out. Yes. So world peace
World peace.
through inner peace.
And love.
And love. Thank you so much. Good evening. This is Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm here live broadcasting at the Cerritos Center for Performing Arts, where I have two of the most amazing musicians, 50 years, cool in the gang, who just delighted us on stage tonight. The moves, the music, it was awesome. You guys were totally in the groove.
Thank you.
So, are you ever going to retire?
I don't know. Maybe
No?
one day. I'm asked that question a lot. I said, well, what about Rod Stewart and Elton John and Mick Jagger? They're older than I am.
There you go.
They're not retired at all.
Yeah, you don't need to retire. You're moving way too well to retire.
That's right.
Yeah, you got the moves.
Well,
You
one
got the
day.
moves. And this is your baby brother, did you say?
Yeah, that's the bigger
You're,
man.
you're a baby brother?
Yeah, I was here before him, but yeah.
Really?
No,
Well, thank you. And what does it? So, what's next? Are you on the road now? You're on tour?
we have a heavy schedule.
Heavy schedule?
Yeah, it's starting to pick up, February, March.
Yeah.
We're doing 20 shows in Europe coming up in July, August. We're going to Japan. We're doing the Singapore Jazz Festival. We're doing the Jazz Festival.
That's
Tokyo, we're all over.
awesome. Well, that's great. I'm getting the signal. Do you mind going like this? Peace in, peace out, world peace
World peace.
through inner peace. Good evening. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from the Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts, the place where legends come back and entertain and sing and delight us. Tonight we have Tony Orlando.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to be back.
And I'm
here with Crystal Gale. I'm excited.
I know, and you're about ready to go on.
I am.
What is the most memorable moment on stage you've ever had?
Well, since I'm in show business now 60 years,
That's amazing.
give me about 60 years to remember. Probably the first time I ever went on stage with big stars. And I remember it was with people, I was 16 years old. It was in Connecticut, and I was on stage with Ethel Merman and people like that. And that first time was probably what I remember the most.
But you're big people.
Oh.
So who are you, or what are you most grateful for?
I'm most grateful to have a great family, beautiful wife for 30 years, 2 great children, good health, and I continue to work.
Yes, yes, and you're doing a great job. What's your favorite song?
Untitled Chapter.
Can we do a? I'm not surprised. Peace in.
I'm kidding.
Peace in. Can we do
Peace
this?
in,
Peace
peace
in.
in,
Peace
peace
out.
in, peace out.
World peace.
World peace.
Through inner peace.
Increase.
This is Dr. Marissa reporting live. You know me as the Asian Oprah. We're going to have Tony on the show. So we're going to go catch him on stage. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hi, it's Dr. Marissa reporting live from the beautiful Secrets from Paul, and I have the most amazing composer here today. We were treated to the Pacific Symphony under the direction of
Carl St.
Clair, and doing music that was composed, and not just music, but images and words of the story of Ellis Island by the composer Peter Boyd.
Yes, nice to see you. And here we are doing a quick meet and greet.
That's right. That's right.
So yes, this piece is Ellis Island, A Dream of America, which is a work for actors and orchestra with projected images that is based on stories from the Ellis Island Oral History Project, and it was performed magnificently tonight by Pacific Symphony and Carl St. Clair at Segerstrom, and it will be on PBS Great Performances next season, so very exciting.
This is Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah, reporting live on the red carpet at the beautiful Beverly Hilton at the beautiful Share Inc. 65 years of passionately serving children and adults who are less privileged. And the featured amazing performers tonight are the Righteous Brothers, and I just interviewed Sherry Payne from the Supremes, and she sung for me, and Martha also just sung for me, so I'm just throwing it down. You got one line?
Never close your eyes. That's one line.
Okay.
Whoa, my love, my darling, I hungered for your touch.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So how does it feel being here?
Oh, we're excited. The main thing is the cause, and what an amazing cause. And we just couldn't be more proud, and we're just looking forward to this event. I know it's going to be a huge success.
Yeah, it's, I know this has been going on a lot of years, not as many years as I've been going on, but it's been remarkably successful, and we're so proud to be part of it this year, and we've been asked to do it over the years, but we finally got a chance to do it.
Oh, wonderful. You're ageless, by the way. You do not look your age, which, are you going to say it?
77.
Wow, you do not look 7. I had Marianne from Gilligan's Island, Don Wells, on my show.
Oh, yeah.
And she's 76. And I just had Mrs. C from Happy Days, Marianne Ross. She's 89. So that's staying power. I would love to have you on the show whenever you'd like. But at the end of every show, I say it's all about balance, peace in and peace out. World peace through inner peace. Peace in and peace out. Thank you.
Good evening. This is Dr. Marissa Pay. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I am reporting live here at the Cerrito Center for Performing Arts, where the most amazing musicians, performers, songwriters, you name it, they come here. And tonight, I'm blessed to have Crystal Beale with me. She just got off stage, Brown Eyes Blue, and then a whole assortment of music.
You know, I love singing everything. So when I started recording, I didn't think I had to just sing one style. So I love singing all these.
Yes, and you do a great job.
Well, thank you. And this is such a beautiful home.
Yes, yes, yes.
It makes it easy.
Yes. And what is your favorite song that you just sang?
Well, of course, you know, I love Ready for the Times. I love When I Dream. And of course, the song that got me here.
Yes, yes.
Don't make my brown eyes.
Yeah, yeah. I love the one where
calling out my name, or I won't say it right, but yeah.
It's one of my Between you and me, I can't remember.
But I gotta let you go. But the last question I always ask people on the show is, what are you most grateful for?
I would have to say having a wonderful family, a mother and father that were just incredible. And I have 2 children of my own and a grandson. I hope for more.
Yes.
But just being in this wonderful business, the music business, I have met so many wonderful people.
Yes.
I do not call anybody fans because they are friends. I've made so many. And I'm just thankful, to be here and been able to do what I've been able to do and stay out there and sing and have my health.
Yeah, and you do a fantastic job. And I just learned tonight when you got and said your sister was Loretta Lynn. Now, I read a little that you were taught a little or coached by her, and then you went off on your own.
Well, my sister and I'm the last out of 8. So there's about 19 years between. And when I started out, my sister, I went on the bus with her, and I was, in junior high. She let me come out and sing on her shows. And so I learned from the best in a sense. But my sister's fantastic. And she wrote songs for me. She's just incredible. And she did put my foot in the door, but it didn't take long to realize that I had to make it on my own.
Yes, and you did.
You've decided to, again, give of yourself. Of yourselves. And I truly thank you for that. I thank God for life. As you all know, I went through having a kidney transplant. It was very successful, thank God. See, I lost a little weight. And obviously, the COVID. Love you too. Love you too. I wish that we could take the love that we've shown each other all these years and let the world see this love and get every single human being in this nation and the world to do the same thing.
Yes.
When we come back, there's more Grammy Spotlight, so keep it here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, Spreaker, and more. And now, the remainder of my spotlight interview with Grammy nominated and Grammy award winning artists that I've had the very good fortune of interviewing either on the show or on a red carpet or actually even performing on stage with them. So enjoy.
Your was it Chippendales you were on?
I hosted. I was not on or a member of the cast of the Chippendales. I hosted the Chippendales. And it ended up, I was really reluctant to do it. My wife said, "Look, it's a Vegas show. Go check it out." I said, "Everybody's going to think I'm a stripper." I went and hosted it. Everybody thought I was a stripper. It was all over the press everywhere. The show ended up being sold out. And then, look, I think it might have been a catalyst to get my group back together. We started getting a lot of attention. Not that the group needed it, and Nick obviously has been doing his thing for a long time, but I think that everybody was me getting up and singing the 98 Degrees songs and realizing that we were selling out these shows. We recognize that our fans never go. I can go anywhere in the world, no matter what language the folks speak in whatever country I'm in, they know that song.
Okay.
And that one's pretty much been perpetually out there throughout the years. But we were fortunate to have 5 or 6 top 10 songs. So.
I went in my research. I did the playlist of somebody put a playlist of all your best songs. So that was kind of nostalgic for me and remembering.
Right.
Even
it's
though I'm
so
ageless.
far back. That's of
I'm
course
ageless,
that's when they.
Even myself there.
Yeah,
Whoops.
so
what did I just say? Dang it.
That's right. Someone told you about our songs.
Yes, exactly. So when are you going? How do we find you?
Look, my website's jefftimmons.com and all the social medias stuff. I'm on there. It's just at Jeff Timmons everywhere. And
how long was 98 Degrees together the first time?
Well, I think we were out for about 5-6 years straight.
5-6 years,
and that was sort of like being shot out of a cannon. We
Motown.
We went from leaving Ohio and dropping the hat here at Santa Monica Pier for money and Fisherman's Wharf to
Did you? Wow.
playing stadiums everywhere. So it was like a whirlwind, really.
What happened?
We wanted a break. I mean, 6 consistent years of being on the road away from your families. Kind of took a toll. Not that we, sort of had a negative idea about what was going on or any feelings about it. It just was a grind, and we all wanted to have families. We started a little later in the game, so we weren't boys in our quote boy band. We were men, and we wanted to have kids, and so we a couple of us started having kids, and we got married, and wanted to transition behind the scenes, producing things, doing radio, TV, producing music for other folks, and that's what we did. And then we were like, wow, let's get back together and see what it's like, and it turned out to be great. So.
Is it weird?
No, it's awesome. Now we're having a blast. We got nothing to worry about. We all have different things we're doing. We all have steady careers, family,
Well, I do want to give both of you the Dr. Marissa Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award.
All right.
For the work that you do. Here's an award for before the award.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
And I don't give that to everyone, so please do be honored by that.
Thank you.
I love when people do more than complain.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I can speak for both of us. In fact, I know. I mean, we're honored to be on this show too, and the support that you're showing us for the event and City Gala. So thank you
for having us.
Yeah. That's Mandarin for thank you, by the way, in case you thought I was Swedish. Is Catherine Antoinette Tony, quote unquote, with an I, Tennille, who's best known for her 70s and 80s chart-topping hits and Grammy Award-winning Record of the Year with the pop duo Captain and Tennille. Yes, love Love will keep us together. Sorry. A classically trained pianist and a prolific songwriter, Toni has also released numerous solo albums celebrating the romantic music of big band and American standards. Today, Toni can be found working with her award-winning Australian Shepherd dogs in Lake Mary, Florida, and continuing to play the music that she loves. She's completed a memoir of her life and career, which we will be getting an intimate look just exclusively here with me and her today. Please welcome to the studio, Toni Tennille. Yay!
Thank you.
Oh my, it's my blessing. Thank you. I'm really glad that we could make this happen. Now let's jump right in here. You fell in love with the keyboardist Daryl Dragon, better known as Tennille. Sorry, as the captain.
As the captain, right?
Sorry, you're Tennille, and was touring. He was touring with the Beach Boys as their keyboardist, and you were the Beach Girl. I didn't know that.
Right. Well, I actually got the job because of him. Actually, I hired him to perform, to play keyboards for a musical I had written called Mother Earth, which was an ecology-themed musical. And we were performing it up in San Francisco where it opened, and then we needed a new keyboard player for L.A. And someone had recommended that Daryl was available. The Beach Boys were taking a break from touring, and he'd been with them for about 5 or 6 years at that time. And he flew up to San Francisco and auditioned for me, and I hired him.
No casting couch.
No, no. But we started working in clubs together, and just to make some money, because we both needed to make money at that time, and we worked in some dumps. I'll tell you what. We finally found a couple of really, really nice clubs that we ended up in. But in the meantime, the Beach Boys were getting ready to go back out on the road, and Carl Wilson, who was music director at the time, called Daryl and said, "Look, we need a keyboard player because our regular guy's going to stop and finish for a while and get his degree." And he said, "Do you know anybody?" And Daryl said, "Yeah, I got this gal. She can do it." And I have to say, I was so impressed that Carl Wilson said, "Fine, if you recommend her, she must be great." He never heard me play.
Wow.
He wasn't daunted by the fact that I was a girl, and they didn't have any girls in their band, and they were the Beach Boys.
Yes.
And the first time he heard me play was when we, got to Binghamton, New York for our first concert, and I played at Soundcheck. So
that's fabulous. So was it love at first sight, or lust at first sight, or did it grow? Were you friends? How did it start?
It's really hard to say. I'm looking back on it now because we met for the first time in 1971 in the lobby of the Marines Memorial Theater in San Francisco. And I was intrigued by him. I remember when I walked into the lobby of the theater, there he was waiting to audition. And he was dressed all in black jeans, everything was very hip looking,
Right.
But he didn't say much. I didn't really know him that well. I was intrigued by him because I sensed immediately that he was a musical genius. And I, kind of thought, well, yeah, he's a genius. He's kind of quiet. He doesn't say much. I have no idea how he feels about me.
Right.
But I first fell in love with the fact that we could make music together. And then I began to, fall in love with the man himself.
I have, first of all, Jocko Marcelino, and he is Skyping in, and you will know him. I got to meet him at the Grove last year. He is the original Sha-na-na.
Hey. Good morning. How y'all doing?
We are doing fabulous. Thank you so much for joining. And I know someone asked me this morning, you're having the whole Sha-na-na? And I said, no, I could only rope in one of them. But maybe the next time you guys do a release, we'll have everybody, including Bowser. So not taking away.
It's either I'm a nah. You got a nah today.
I got nah. Perfect. So we have nah from Sha-na-na. And we also...
Sha-na-na-na-na. That's how we got our name.
We're going to talk about that. How did we do that? How did you get your name?
Yip, 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 boom, 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 sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na.
Boom,
Get a
sha-na-na.
job. From Get a Job.
There you go. Now you heard it live and you heard it officially. The other beautiful person I have in studio live is Kathy Richardson, who joined Jefferson Starship in 2008 and anchors the historic role made famous by Grace Slick, who she had dinner with last night. Her credits include fronting her own band CRB, Macrodots, and Nelson Street Revival, producing and releasing 7 independent albums. She was nominated a Grammy Award for art direction of Kathy Richardson's band 2003 release, The Road to Bliss. She started as Janis Joplin in the original off-Broadway cast of Love, and she just recently released a single, What I Am, and she's going to play it live. Woohoo! I forgot to ask her to bring the guitar, so she wrangled a guitar, literally, to do that later on. And I met her in Chicago on Soldier Field at an amazing fundraising effort by Journey's Dream. So, without further ado, welcome Kathy Richardson.
Hello. Thank you.
And Jocko, I want to definitely, I can't believe you guys have been together 40, how many years now?
49.
49. They came together as fellow college students at Columbia University in New York in 1969. Combined their love for the classics of rock and roll with dynamic theatrical approach. The 50s music legends appeared just before Jimi Hendrix 44 years ago this summer at the Woodstock Festival in their 8th professional gig, of course. They had 4... Oh, the check bounced. I see that. They had 4 seasons of their own worldwide television series, The Sha-Na-Na Show, and are now set to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the movie Grease, in which they co-starred along with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. And we already applauded you, but I forgot to read your introduction.
Well, and it's coming up fast. It's going to be 50 years next year. This is the 49th. Of Woodstock and of our existence.
That's amazing.
Because that was our 8th gig at Woodstock.
Wow, that is amazing. And you're still ticking and you're still singing. Did you ever talk about retiring?
Well, you know what? We several times. The first was in that nightclub downtown. We had done a few gigs around, but then we were going to try to make it in show business, but it was a 12-man group. But Jimi Hendrix came down to the club. And he got everybody. He brought Janis Joplin down. He Frank Zappa came in. Led Zeppelin. It was unbelievable. So we were really rocking. And the last night the club was open before, a mafioso lean, they bought down the promoters of Woodstock, and Jimmy really got us that gig. And like you said, the check was for $350, but it bounced. And then Jimmy saved our career again because we were out there all weekend, but not getting on. To show up, the stage was falling, all that stuff.
Wow.
And they asked Jimmy to go on it right away and close the show on about midnight or 1 o'clock on Monday morning. But he said, no, there were 3 or 4 acts who haven't gotten on, and my deal is to close the show. So we went on just before Hendrix for like a half hour.
Wow, that is
Jim
so cool.
saved the career because At the Hop made the movie.
Right? Yeah. You know about this, huh?
Oh, yes.
Kathy?
So cool to meet you. I mean, grew up with your music and such a big fan. When I was a kid, I used to watch the TV show, and we wore out that Grease soundtrack. And of course, I was talking to David Freiberg from Jefferson Starship today about you guys and what a phenomenon you were, and how fun. So cool.
We did a lot of gigs with Jefferson Airplane,
Yeah.
Of course, they were on the Woodstock bill.
Yes.
Later, we did a double bill around all over the country, including Kent State. And it was a really, really intense evening of music.
Yeah.
Well, I feel great about. Isn't this great? Like, I feel like a fly on the wall, like 2 music, old time music people reminiscing, and I'll never forget when I was texting Kathy and said, "Do you mind? I invited Sha-Na-Na on the show," and she goes, "The Sha-Na-Na."
I said, yeah, that Shannon. So that was pretty funny.
Rock and roll is here to stay.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Drugs, sex,
if we
and
have our
rock and
way,
roll.
it will be.
Yeah. So do you have a question for Jocko?
Oh, he just explained it. He just already answered it. I was just going to ask about how the whole Woodstock thing happened and how they ended up. They were, it seems to me like you guys were kind of a tongue-in-cheek sort of fun time, 50s doo-wop band in an era of psychedelic rock and roll. And I just wondered how that all came about, but you already answered, so thank you.
It was definitely campy,
Yeah.
but we were sincere about it because we really loved the music. And I learned doo-wop from there because I was playing blues and Hendrix cover band. I was doing all sorts of other drumming and singing. And to really go back and to learn the history, and it wasn't that old. Rock and roll is 1955, maybe
Right.
Rock Around the Clock, or Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Really, probably the first rock and roll records. But and it wasn't that old by the time we got to Woodstock. It's within a couple of decades. So, and I think people are ready to look back and not look at the same songs and the same part of the TV show and see it as Americana, not as campy. We definitely have fun.
Well, when I was a kid, it certainly didn't seem campy to me. It seemed awesome. But as an adult, I can see where you started coming from. But yeah, musically, it was totally authentic. It was great. All those songs, my parents turned me on to all that 50s rock and roll, and like I said, we just on family vacations, riding in the car, we just wore that soundtrack out, singing along to every song. So it's really cool.
Yeah, how did that Grease soundtrack come about?
The Grease?
Yeah.
Well, we played. We were in about the middle of we shot the TV show, 97 half hours for 4 years, and I guess it was the third year anyway. The Grease producers came down and choreographer and director to our set, and we got the gig right away. They want us to play Johnny Casino and the Gamblers in the movie, and they had us mostly doing songs from the classic era, with Hound Dog, Tears on My Pillow, that kind of stuff that wasn't in the musical. So it was a good completion together, and so we were very fortunate to have 6 songs on that CD, which is more than any other artist.
Wow. Cool.
One of the great rock and roll gifts that keeps giving.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'll know this, like what was good to learn. It was a learning experience all the time for me, because though I came from R&B, really, I learned doo-wop. I learned to love rockabilly. I learned to love Elvis. I mean, there were all these different flavors that go to make that Americana, and whether you know it or not, it as a musician, it influences you in many ways.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys always get along? Did you ever?
Oh, you know what? It's like a marriage, but of course, at first we had 12 guys, and then it was 10. Now we do it with 8 guys.
Okay.
But you know how that is. No, we have good, healthy arguments, good political arguments. But then at the end of the day, these are my brothers. We're all, we got each other's back. We're touring America.
Almost 50 years together.
People are having fun. They still have fun. They still want to come out. And like both of you have said, it's really your music and your experience, what you were doing when you were a kid, which wasn't that long ago for you.
Right.
I know.
Well,
I know that.
Somewhat.
But,
thank you. I use oil of Olay, so I'm not saying nothing.
It really is a joyous celebration that we're celebrating these songs together, that we all have a sort of a story behind.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you started?
I was 19 when Sean and us started.
Wow.
But I was playing in bands since I was like 12 years old.
Wow.
And I got to Columbia on a football scholarship. I was all-state football player out of Massachusetts. But when I got there that year, I was the only drummer on campus who had drums. So I ended up in
high in demand.
I ended up in like 5 bands, from jazz ensembles to Motown to blues, and one of them was the Kingsmen, which was then not the Louie Louie Boys, the Columbia Kingsmen vocal group. And so they put, they took off their blue blazers and turtleneck sweaters, and we greased the thing up. And I came in, with my black leather jackets, and we went down and rented Golda suits from a costume place. And we did our first gig right there at Columbia on campus. We knew 11 songs, and the crowd was so rowdy, we played them twice.
Wow, that's so great. And if you've just tuned in and you're wondering who my fabulous guests are today, you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, a show about hope and happiness. And today's hope and happiness are two throwbacks, but not too far back because they're still on the road and entertaining us. And that is Jocko from Sha-Na-Na. He's the first Na. And Kathy Richardson, the lead singer in Jefferson Starship. So I know you have to go soon, Jocko. Do you have a question for Kathy?
Yeah, Kathy. What's it like touring and singing all those great songs to I presume, a new audience all the time?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's such an incredible feeling. Also, the Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship were such a big influence on me when I was a kid. They were my second favorite band. I have to admit it. My first favorite was Heart with Ann and Nancy Wilson. But I love the music so much. And when the opportunity presented itself for me to sing with the band, I was like, are you kidding me? This is like a weird, beyond a dream come true, because I never would have even imagined that I would end up in the band one day. I mean, it's just like, it's beyond what I would have thought, Mm-hmm. I always wanted to sing and do all that, but I just figured I would be my own artist, which I have been for many, many years. But yeah, it's incredible. And it's so cool to see how fans, young and old, react to hearing the songs. We played the other night in, oh God,
where are you?
It's
Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Santa Clarita, okay. At the Canyon, and we were playing White Rabbit, and there was a woman in the front row, and she was just sobbing while she was listening to the song. Aww. And she was obviously having some kind of an experience, which, obviously I'm not Grace Slick, I'm not the original singer, but being able to sing the song and give people a feeling to where they're going to be moved that way and transported back in time to a part in their life. I mean, that's such an honor. Yeah.
Right? Opens your
incredible.
heart. And then you got invited. Grace invited you to sing with the band with the Hall of Fame.
The Grammy, they got their Lifetime Achievement Award from the Grammys, and Grace doesn't sing anymore, although she did do a little singing at the dinner table last night.
Oh, she did?
But yeah, she doesn't sing anymore, so she asked me to sing in her place.
Why doesn't she sing?
Why?
Why?
Asking
why doesn't she sing? I don't know. She smokes like 9,000 cigarettes a day, and she just doesn't want to be on stage anymore. She's her thing, and she says this is just for her. But she thinks old people look ridiculous singing rock and roll, and she doesn't want to.
Thank goodness I'm not old.
Yes. But, she doesn't mean any offense to anyone who's out there doing it. But she just thinks for herself, she would feel, that she felt like it was young people's music. But I'm like, but you created it, but she just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. She's like 79 or 78, 79, something like that. And
you know what? If they sang badly, I could agree with that.
Right.
If there are artists out there still singing their ass off.
David Freiberg in my band, for one of them, he's about to turn 80 this year, and I can't believe how he sings. He sings like...
Who?
David Freiberg. He's one of the original members of Jefferson Starship. He was also in the band Quicksilver Messenger Service. And in the band, he played bass and keyboards and sang backups. He wrote the song Jane, one of the band's biggest hits.
Yeah.
And now he sings lead with the band, and he's an incredible singer. His voice is so high, so clear, so powerful.
And he's 80.
And he's turning 80 this year. He's like
incredible.
Just a hero.
Can I ask how old you are?
Who, me? I am 67 years old.
Wow. You look great.
Fantastic. You are very young.
Yeah, you are very young.
Yeah. But, hey, if you got to love this, you particularly got to love us to deal with airports and tour buses and all that.
Right.
You got to love the show and you got to love the
do.
performance.
So one last question for you.
Yeah.
Is it true that the drummer gets the most girls?
You know what? I front more now. So I'm going to have to ask my drummer, Ty.
Okay.
I think he's doing pretty good.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I so appreciate it. I wanted to give both of you, because of the work that you continue to do, Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award, because you take your light and you support places and people who are less fortunate and that are in the shadows, and you shine your light and include them. So I wanted to give my Dr. Marissa Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
It's great meeting you.
All right, bye. Thanks for
Okay,
coming
guys,
on.
keep rocking. Good
Thank
luck, guys.
you.
All right, take it easy.
And I hope you have enjoyed this Grammy Spotlight. April 3rd, absolutely inspired by musical artists who work so hard to become Grammy nominated and Grammy award winning artists. I'm so grateful to have met and interviewed all of these magnificent artists. I hope you've enjoyed this show and the Spotlight. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room during the pandemic, reminding you that it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go forth and multiply the melody and harmony that you are. Have the best day ever.